Warren Thornton on Patreon. The most banned news show on the planet. Do you want the truth? Ex-Special Forces in conflict zones around the world. The journalist with unprecedented contacts. The organizations, the wars, the scandals, and a complicit media. The people placed in power. The organizations who shape our world. And what they have in store for you.
Tell me.
The real truth. They will not tell you on mainstream media. Want the truth? Welcome home. There is something going on in Ukraine. Something so dark, so awful, that absolutely no one wants to talk about it. It's not the 9,000 children that have disappeared into Ukraine, never to be seen again, nor the attempted murder of those exposing that heinous crime. Nor is it the actual killing of this hospital worker who gave to us these pictures. The shady Ukraine figures profiting from organ harvesting, ripping the organs from wounded live soldiers to sell them on the black market, where senior figures in organizations, NGOs, and charities pay the highest prices to have them shipped to German and U.S. military hospitals. As bad as that is, it pales by comparison to what America and its allies are hiding in Ukraine. In the theater of modern warfare, drones have changed everything. Impersonal, deadly, and cheap to manufacture. As you watch the rest of this 10-minute factual information film, I want you to remember this. Over the course of the war, the Ukrainian army has swelled. 1 million men in the army over the summer of 2023, plus 1.2 million men in reserve. That's a total of 2.2 million men. Since then, 3 drafts have garnered another 1.4 million men. So that is 3.6 million men in total. Add to that another 100,000 mercenaries from countries all over the world. And finally, 400,000 unwilling men beaten and kidnapped off the streets by Ukraine. That a total of 4.1 million men conscripted, volunteered, or forced into the Ukrainian army. In 2023, the BBC asked MetaZona what the ratio of dead Ukrainian soldiers to Russian soldiers were. They never published the apocalyptic results. Worse still, the families of the dead soldiers were told they would receive a $380,000 in compensation if their sons fell in battle. What followed was sickening. Battalion commanders would report them missing for 3 months, and in that time, they would pocket the money. Institutions such as Grok and governments such as the United Kingdom, the United States, and France advised Ukraine to burn the bodies in giant ovens around Ukraine or simply bury them in mass graves on the battlefield. The reason was twofold: to hide the number of casualties and to save money on paying out the families of the dead. And as the soldiers died, things got far, far worse. As the experienced soldiers died, inexperienced conscripts took their place, and the numbers climbed. 8 to 1 became 15 to 1. 20. At the last exchange of bodies, Ukraine handed back 41 dead Russian soldiers. Russia handed back 1,000 dead Ukrainian soldiers. And these monthly tallies are consistent month after month. Beaten, press-ganged, starving soldiers not wanting to fight surrendered and deserted in great numbers. Slava Ukraine, they said. Hundreds a day are snatched of the streets to die for the USA and NATO's proxy war. War crimes that make the Gaza and Lebanon genocides pale by comparison. 4.1 million men since the start of the war joined the Ukrainian army. 50,000 in captivity. 200,000 deserters. 600,000 injured. And 2.2 million dead. You may find those figures hard to believe, especially with mainstream media, their influencers and AI tools such as Grok and ChatGPT lying to you. But remember, it was the Ukrainians themselves who told the world that as of Jan 1st, 2025, they only had 900,000 men left in their entire military. They lose anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 soldiers a day. Sounds crazy? It's only 1.5 men per square kilometer of the front line. It's amazing that the losses are that small. Now, multiply the number of losses in a day by the number of days of this conflict. Or if you prefer multiply the average Ukrainian losses throughout the conflict, which is 17 to 1, by the number of days of this conflict. Yet NATO, the Americans, a conflict media will tell a very different story. We will give you one example. Grok AI will tell you that Ukraine is losing 2 soldiers for every 1 Russian. Grok AI sources include Ukraine sources as unbiased and the ISW. The ISW. The Institute for the Study of War, run by the sister-in-law of Victoria Nuland, the woman who helped start this war. He was going to end it. We told you he was not. Look at his CIA director's face when Trump announces that Ukraine are going to get more funding.
To be able to defend themselves, they're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard.
Let us be clear. Neither NATO or the USA have any interest in stopping this war. As long as someone else is dying and not them, they are happy. Meanwhile, the 250 military cemeteries around Ukraine are bursting at the seams. But please do not take our word for it. We will let the mother of a Ukrainian son tell you the brutal, sad truth. Good night.
Здравствуй, Ромчик. Молимся за тебя, за твою душу. Вымолились, вроде бы вымолили тебя. Хоть Бог послал мне хороших людей, тебя нашла. Долго искали, долго это самое. Но я очень рада, что ты живой, здоровый. И что ты в плену. Да, я очень этому рада. Очень. И я не хочу, чтобы ты шел на обмен, потому что ты даже домой не доедешь. Не доедешь. За деток не переживай, я за ними смотрю. Мой муж постоянно им денежку высылает, все. Вот. Не переживай. И так, если что-то очень сложно будет, они быстро приедут ко мне. Уже даже пути отхода мы им уже приготовили. Так что не переживай. Ты себе сиди, будешь живее, чем бы валялся где-нибудь там в посадках, в окопах гнил, свиньи ели. Сиди лучше, сынок. Ты знаешь, как у меня душа за тебя болит? Ужасно болит.
Thanks for watching.